loves, it's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my very late review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We open up the scene with a music video with Little Zane. I have not seen Lil Zane since the early 2000s, bruh. Since he was on the Fighting Temptations, since he was on the Parkers. I ain't seen him in years. But this is what happens on Love and Hip Hop. Like, they resurface these old artists that we've seen from early 2000s, late 90s, and they just disappeared, fell off the face of the earth, and they just resurface on a reality show. Let's hope that you do what you're supposed to do, which is get your music out there, rebrand your sound, and get off the show. Don't just stick to being on a reality show like Kirk and Rashida. But, you know, he's trying to say he's going to be the next Lenny Kravitz because he's in that rocker phase. And, you know, he's trying to be better with his wife because he has a wife named Ashley. They've been married for 5 years, but together for 11 years. They're trying to be on a better page, but there's some mess going on between them already. Because we start off with a music video, like I said, Jock and Kirk come in for support. There's a whole bunch of ladies around. Jock trying to be on his best behavior, reminding Kirk to be on his best behavior, and listening to Lil Zane's situation with his wife. They're still married. They're separated. They live in the same house, but I guess on different sides of the house. A bit of a mess. But Zane still creeps around. He still sleeps around. He still be in the streets. And apparently he still is in an on and off situation with his baby mama, Michelle, who he has 2 kids by. It's a surprise to hear about him being married. But the way he's acted while being married is like, whoa. Even in the confessional, he wasn't even wearing his wedding ring. So for him to say, I know y'all, when y'all say Lil Zane, y'all see the heartthrobber, the heartbreaker, the player, but no, I'm a married man. But you don't act like a married man. You don't wear your ring. You creep around with your baby mama. You creep around with other women. What's going on here? Okay? And Jock is like, so you still spinning the block with the baby mama? He like, man, you know me, you know from the hood, you know. He's like, I don't know that. You do know that, Jock. We know your track record, bruh. Okay? And like, you know, like, do you do the whole smoothings over with one woman and then you give her the other woman what she wants to hear, you know what I'm saying? So they can be on the same place, so they can be cordial. Like, you be playing both sides, bruh. So we meet Ashley. She comes down to give them some waters, to check in on them. And it's so crazy how Lil Zane switches up the conversation because he was just talking about spinning the block with the baby mama before Ashley came down. And Ashley, she's in her confessional. She's beautiful, but she's spoken about going through a lot with Lil Zane, you know, but she loves him and she's hanging on, hoping that him being around other men that are married, that knows how to treat their wives with respect and loyalty and courtesy and support. And I'm like, these are the wrong men you need to have your husband be around, okay? So, you know, just talking, seeing what they are getting into. Like I said, Lil Zane was lying, trying to cover up that he wasn't just bragging about fucking baby mama and fucking other women at the same time. And Jock can see that Zane and Ashley are not on the same page. They are giving different energies. And yeah, y'all not on the same page. Y'all on different chapters. So then Kirk mentions the fight that Amy and Bambi got into it at the press photo. And Jock was like, why they get into it? Because Amy is upset that Bambi is dating an ex of hers from a long time ago. And you get Ashley, who said, yes, you don't do that. You don't date your friends as old men. That's what you don't do. And I'm like, Ashley, do you even know them? How are you trying to get 2 cents in on what Bambi did? You don't even know Bambi. You don't know nobody. And I'm with Jock. You don't own anybody. You can't make them do what they want to do. Folks want to do what they want to do, and you just want to deal with it. And you don't know the whole situation. So why are you giving your 2 cents in? Like, I'm already like, I don't know if I'm going to like her. And then what you're dealing with the Lil Zane, I don't think you have any position to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't be doing. And I don't think Jock was wrong for saying you don't own nobody. This is not what you do. And this was a situation that Amy had dated years ago. Don't even know if it was a real relationship. And this was over 10 years ago. So you can miss me. It's like, Ashley, you don't even trust Lil Zane. Okay, so now she's feeling a bit iffy about trusting Lil Zane around Kirk and Jock because of their morals, of their conversation. It's like, girl, you don't trust him anyway, but you're not going anywhere. I'm like, Ashley, you have your morals and values on how you want Lil Zane to treat you, but other than that, you ain't going nowhere. You can't expect for other men to fix your husband's problems on how he not faithful. But I believe Ashley is with all this toxicity, okay? I think she's with the shit. She gives me firecracker while she's all nice and sweet. And then she comes out of nowhere and just starts to shade Job because he said he's going to write a book. And she throws in, on how to keep a wife. He said, you know what, I might. It might be a book for your husband to read on how to try to keep a wife. Because whatever y'all doing, it ain't working. Like I said, I don't even know. Actually, less than 5 minutes. I'm not even sure if I'm going to like her. Because she's way too snappish. Even though she's been dealing with this all these years, she ain't going nowhere. I don't know if I'm going to have care for her. I really don't. But I'm going to move on. Because at the end of the day, though, Ashley, you can't expect for your husband to be fixed and changed from one conversation with Kirk and Jock. And it's not like they can change him when this is how Lil Zane has been since you've been with him. I'm going to move on again. I can't. We get saucy. He's in Long Beach for Pride. He brought Chef Chicklet along with him. He's concerned about the show because it's a long show. He ain't been eating well. He's been gaining weight. He's worried about his breath control. And he's happy that, you know, Chef Chiglet's there to support him. But in the end, it still comes down to what is it about their relationship. Chef D still don't trust Saucy because they don't live in the same city. And whenever they're not in the same city, Saucy be in the streets. He still be outside. Knowing the background. Knowing that Saucy cheated on Chef D. Chef D came back trying to forgive him, trying to move forward. He wants to be in a committed relationship. He don't want it. Saucy does not want to be tied down. He does not want to be in a committed relationship. And this is the problem that Zell has with Saucy as well. Whenever we're not in the same place, you tend to move like you're single, and he don't like it. Same thing with Chef D. I don't understand what the whole hard thing for y'all to get. Saucy don't want to be in a committed relationship. He don't want to be tied down. He wants to be out in the streets. Period, point blank. Good night. I'm moving on. So we got Spice. Spice's home was burglarized. And she was out on tour. Her friend came home and house sat for her. But apparently the friend was asleep the whole time it happened. And I'm like, well, I'm happy that the friend was okay. But she slept through that? You didn't hear a crash? You didn't hear glass breaking? So now she don't feel safe. Rashida and Shekinah came over to show her some support. They were concerned about Spice. She said she's fine. Her friend, who was her hairstylist, was here. They broke through the basement. And they took what was downstairs. They never made it upstairs, which is like, how? Was the alarm system not on? There's something, was it a silent alarm or something? And this is why she did not want her home filmed for the season, because she wasn't sure if anybody who watches the show would have found a way to want to rob her. Because there have been a lot of robberies lately, especially towards reality stars who see how their home is set up. They find out where they live and they want to rob them, which is pretty sad to do. It's sad. But now that Spice is going to be on the hunt for a new home, she wants this to be a safe place for her and her children, but now she don't feel safe. And it's like, God damn, what's going on? We're back with Saucy. He performs. He's doing his thing. He loves performing. He's now opening up about his past trauma. He's getting comfortable with his mother. His mama's getting more comfortable with his lifestyle and who he is. And he wants to bring her into his world. And this is what he does. This is what he wants to work hard for to achieve this success. He's very proud of himself. Moving on again. We got Erica meeting up with Rashida. The first thing that was mentioned was Rashida telling Erica that Spice's home was burglarized. Erica gives sympathy and support to Spice. Hopefully she and her kids find a better home so she's safe. Then we get to Erica mentioning Mama D. Mama D had an event. Mama D was messy. She invited Jasmine. Don't know how, but she invited her. She also got some information from Jasmine. That Jasmine told her she's been receiving messages from Kirk that she can get more money out of Kirk if they were fucking. Now, you can see Rashida's face. She's upset. She's taking it all in. She's saying she does not want to showcase to Erica that she's feeling some type of way, but either way, she's feeling some type of way. And what's not surprising to me was how Erica had more emotion behind telling her. The emotion that Erica had to explain the situation was way more than Rashida taking it in. She's saying she didn't want to show no weakness though. But I'm like, at the end of the day, if she's numb to hearing this information about her husband, that means she's okay with it. She ain't going nowhere. I wrote in my community post that Erica, this is not your fight. I hear you being our ride or die friend, but don't show no more emotion than Rashida is. Because she's not going to have the proper emotion, the proper feelings about it, then she's okay with it. She ain't gonna do nothing about it. She's gonna roll with the punches and deal with it. Moving on from there. Spice meets up with Kendra to talk about her options of finding a new home because of her home was being burglarized. She wants a safer location for her and her children. In the middle of the first home she looked at, she didn't like it. It's too small. Her home sits on an acre. There's over 7 bedrooms. She needs space. So this is not the home she's looking for right now. But she's appreciate Kendra for taking the time out to help her find something. And Spice asked Kendra, what's going on? What's up with you? Kendra is now opening up the possibility of having children. It's like, whoa, really? And it's crazy because Kendra had expressed she didn't want any kids with Jock, knowing that this will be his 10th child, this will be your child, and she did not want to be involved in the baby mama clan. She did not want the curse to happen to her. When you get with Jock, you get a baby, you get left behind. But she doesn't want any kids right now. She wants to freeze her eggs. Spice didn't agree with that. But Kendra's looking at where her life is right now. I'm still moving forward with my businesses. I'm still reaching multiple levels. I want to reach more levels before I want to have children. And I want to have options, especially with the age that she's at now. By the time she was to try, it might be harder for her. So if I was to freeze my eggs at the age I am now, they'll be fresh and ready when I'm ready. They'll be right when I'm ready to go. And when it comes to having children, once you have them, you can't give them back. So she doesn't want to regret having children, and she wants to be able to prepare properly, have her options set, which I'm not mad at. And Spice has been aware of the situation with her and Jock. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be stuck raising a child with somebody that I'm not even going to be in a relationship with. It's not saying she wants that, but she just knows the situation. She can feel it. There's something in her that feels we're not going to be married for long. But that's where Spice asked the $1 million question. Do you trust him? And that's $1 million question for Kendra. She said, I could be lying if I say I did not know who I was getting involved with. But I'm also will be lying if I did not know what the future holds. And that's the question everybody has had since she got with Jock. You know what he came with. You know how he is. You still decided to marry him. And you know what he does. So it's kind of like, why did you marry him? You wanted to see if he'll change. But he might not change. We're going to move on because there's more coming with that. We now get Zane and Ashley. They're playing laser tag with his son and daughter. They're here for the summer. As it turns out before, he has 2 children with his baby mama, Michelle. They share joint custody. And both him and Ashley are trying to put on brave faces like they're okay with the situation, but they still got some lingering issues. Do Ashley have children with Zane? I'm not sure because I'm hearing our kids, but I'm just not seeing them yet. So she doesn't believe that the advice that Jock and Kurt gave him is not good advice and he should change who he walks around with or hangs around with, but he was just explaining the difference or explaining the situation of what Zane is doing, because you caught him humping in the air. This is him trying to tell him you're playing both sides. You're playing both women, okay? And how, I know how you are not comfortable with the rocker lifestyle. And like she said, I'm not comfortable with the rocker lifestyle because it showcases him being a player. It showcases him still being single. And he still acts like he can be with other women and then pretend to be this faithful husband when he comes home to his wife and children. But as soon as the video wrapped, he went out of town. She did not hear from him in over 12 hours. He never called, never checked in. But he said he wanted to go pick up the kids. He said he needed some time to get his mind right. But she's wondering, what did you use to get your mind right? Who did you see? Where did you go? He said, no. She said, did you talk to Michelle while you were there? He said he met her at a public place because he feels weird going by himself. And Ashley knows their history because Zane has cheated on Ashley with Michelle. They have known to be lies and sneaks. They have this history where they have this back and forth relationship that Ashley's aware of. So as far as like how you disappeared, you were gone for almost a whole day. There's no telling who you might have been with. There's no telling you would have been with Michelle or could have been with someone else. And that's a lot of mess right there. So now it's still giving me confirmation, Ashley, you're still willing to stay with him if you know this about his situationship with his baby mama, Michelle. Now she mentions a little boy named Matthew that is a possibility could be Zane's son because he is walking around with his last name, not certain if he knows who his father or who he is in his father. And Zane, he's like, man, I don't know why you want to put me through so much, or that's a lot at one time. What you want me to do? And for me, it's already annoying me, Zane, how you don't want to take responsibility for your actions. You feeling like, oh my God, my life is complicated. That's a lot to say. Why would you want me to bother her with that? It's the shit you did. Why are you making it seem as if, you just cannot deal with this? You can't ignore the actions. You can't ignore the problems you created. You can't leave responsibility because you don't want to deal with it when it's the shit you did. Like, she's really pushing him to figure out if Matthew is his son or not. But he feels like it wasn't the right time to bring him to Michelle. And then she's getting upset again. Why are you always trying to comfort somebody? Why do you always try to make sure you are on their time? You know what I'm saying? You want to be sensitive to their situation. Be sensitive to how they can feel. When you're not being sensitive to what it can make me feel. You're not comforting me. You know how I want to be at ease with this. Why aren't you looking to make me feel at ease to know that you have another son, is with your baby mama, and we're going to move forward? And like, this is something that should have been figured out how to handle this a long time ago. In my mind, why y'all waiting until now? Is it because y'all waiting for y'all green screen? Y'all's waiting for the show to get picked up for y'all to be featured now? Because why are we just now seeing this? Because he feels like 99% that's not his son. Okay. But at the same point in time, you're still dragging your feet to get it confirmed. Because you probably do believe you are his father. That is your son. But why don't you want to go through the proper channels to get it confirmed? Why? And then Ashley knows this. You guys have a history with each other. I have back and forth with each other. She knows y'all fuck around from time to time. And if you know this, Ashley, you're not going anywhere because you guys are still going to be with each other. So he feels like there's a lot to do to a 7-year-old, to take his name away from him, to tell him I'm not his dad or I am his dad. We don't know. I'm like, well, that is a bit a lot. Maybe figure out a way to talk to him when he's a bit older. And it shouldn't be this hard, but I get it. It's a little boy in the mix, but this is why Lil Zane needs to just admit it, that that's his son. Because if he's not trying to admit it or not trying to go through the channels of getting it handled, you should just say, yeah, that's my son, because you don't want to deal with the problems. You're going to deal with it anyway. Because that's another baby, that's another child that Ashley's going to have to accept and move on because she still wants to be with you. But then I'm like, Ashley is really upset about it because you've been doing this for years. And I don't know why Zane is hesitant on this. I don't know why. But you want him to prove that he wants to make this relationship work. You want him to prove he wants to put the action into bettering your relationship with your family. And I don't see what's the problem. I don't. So, at the end of the day, whether or not he's going to move forward, Ashley's going to still right beside him. Point blank, period. So then we get Rashida. Rashida meets up with Kirk. She's pissed. She couldn't wait to question about this shit with Jasmine. She met up with Erica for lunch. Erica mentioned Mama D had an event where Jasmine was invited to. Jasmine told Mama D some information about you sending her messages that you will give her more money if she gives you more pussy. What's his name? Kirk, he's all, oh my God, why would she do that? This is why I didn't want to deal with this shit. This is why I didn't want this. And she's fucking up my life. And, even when I come over to the house, you come to the door naked. Of course, this is news to Rashida because you didn't mention that when you pick up your son, she comes to the door naked. She feels he's lying. He's stuttering. She's not hearing. Jasmine is lying. I don't have any messages sent to her that I want this, I want that. And you know what I'm saying? She's tired of it. She's holding back tears. In that scene, you can see Rashida's face. She is holding back tears because she said, Kirk don't have no more chances. I refuse to look like a fool on TV again. Too late. And the whole dragging me to court, wasting my money. It's like, Kirk, you're not a victim. Take responsibilities for your own actions. You fucked around and got somebody pregnant. Okay? You labeled the worst man in this entire world because you play on that. You're lame. Okay, but let's not forget, you want to come back on this show and paint Jasmine out to be a horrible mother because of a defects case to make you look good. But then I don't see how you thought about coming on this show to paint her out to be an ain't shit ass mother, and you think she's not going to come back with receipts how you might have been an ain't shit ass father. You are a miserable man. I do not have time, and you can't blame on nobody but yourself. So he wants to check Jasmine so he can get this cleaned up because he gets tired of it. You should have been tired of it when you found out she was pregnant. Oh, I can't stand Kirk and his 3 earrings. So with the quickness, he meets up with Jasmine. And I was with Jasmine all the way in this scene, okay? Because the first thing he wants to mention is Mama D's reputation of being a madam. Why would you mention Mama D's past? What's the purpose of mentioning Mama D's past? That makes no sense. Like, Kirk is trying to clean up his tracks. It's pathetic because Jasmine said, don't worry about my relationship. Worry about your relationship with your son. Worry about being a father. He said, I am. You are showcasing maybe 20%, a small percentage of being there for your son. And then she goes down a list of what he should know about his son. Do you know your son? Do you know what he likes? What is his teacher's name? He ain't got nothing to say. Do you know his school's name? Do you know what grades he in? He couldn't say shit. But he ends up saying third. No, stupid. He's not. He's in the 2nd grade. Asshole. He said, I take him 3 times. Oh, 3 times? How many times throughout the year, Kirk? How many times? 3 out of how many times? Fuck out of here. He couldn't answer not one question because he does not know his own son. And I don't know how you don't know how old your own son was because you bragged about paying for his 7th birthday that you missed. Get the fuck out of here, stupid. So, again, she lives 15 minutes away from this man. And he don't know not one thing about his own son. And you want to brag about being a good daddy? You would know your son's school. You would know your son's teachers. You would know when time he gets out of school. You know what he likes to do. You don't know nothing. That's pretty sad. And then why are you telling Mama D I'm begging you for more money? So you never text me about wanting to fuck me? You never text me about wanting to see if you would give me more money if I give you more sex? That never happened? He said, no. So you want to play, huh? You want to play because you want to act like you never sent me those messages. You want to act like you never spoken to me in that way. He's saying, yeah, I did some shit I shouldn't do, but I got a pass, and my wife and I try not to get to that place again. You'll be a dumb MF if you go to that shit again. But asking him direct question, have you tried to smash me, yes or no? He said no. She believes he's lying. I believe he's lying. Even going back to the time where, how did I get pregnant? With no protection. He said, I used a condom. No, you didn't. You didn't use no condom. You was drunk. And it's like a whole bunch of airing out how they had their situation going on, how they got together and how they were fucking without protection, how she got pregnant. It's like, I do not have time for this at all. You're not a victim, man. Sir, you're not a victim. She said, I should take you to court. I should be doing this. I should be. And you're fucking lying. You're lying. Keep on defending yourself, Jasmine. Keep on telling your truth, okay? Because at the end of the day, yes, your fault is you knew he was married. He knew he was married, but he deserves more of the flack because he's a married man that everybody has known he's been married, and he made a mistake. Like, I ain't got time for this as well. You can go on and go on and go on. Good night and goodbye. He said, I'm not trying to do this with you because he is being a gaslighter. He's trying to make it seem as if she's been making passes at him, but it's been him this whole time. I don't have time. Jack, what's your name? Kurt, go to hell. Go. Good night and goodbye. Jasmine, keep on exposing your truth. But what I want you to do while you are standing on the fact that Kirk has been messaging you, I need you to produce these receipts. That's the only thing I'm asking, Jasmine. Produce the receipts that Kirk has been messaging you, because your story have not changed since you've been on here. I need you to produce these receipts. That's all I'm saying. So now we get to Jock and Kendra. They were having a photo shoot with Jock and all his kids. It's nice seeing him with all of his kids. And of course, he has had conversations with Kendra about having children. But looking at how much and how many kids he has now, do they even want children? And do he see himself changing diapers at 50? Well, your youngest is what, 3? So I don't know, Kirk. You might end up reaching that age already. But they go outside because she is feeling that baby fever. And she talks about wanting to have children, but she still wants to wait a bit, but she wants to freeze her eggs in the process. Jock was like, we're going to have kids. Let's do them now. Let's do the whole natural way of having children. We don't want to wait 4 or 5 years down the line because then, of course, y'all will be older and y'all might not even be in that same feeling of wanting children. And she feels like it's the best way because she's looking at the option of how her age, because at the age she's at now, her eggs are still good. If she was to start the process later, her eggs might not work. So she wants to, get it all set up that the age she's at now will be a much better way for them to have fresh eggs if they was to go through that process. But of course, he don't want to do that. He don't want to, deal with that. He's turned off on the conversation because he believes she doesn't want to have any kids with him. That's her excuse of trying to push the wait for kids even more, especially with freezing her eggs. And she wasn't asking for his permission. She was just telling him what she wants to do. Because at the end of the day, it is her decision to have the baby, to produce the babies. Those are all her decisions. And at the same time, even if we don't work out, I want to be able to still make sure the possibility of me having kids can still be a possibility, with or without you. But that's not what she's trying to do. So of course he feels like she don't want to have any kids with me. And that's not what she's saying. Because she is talking about, even though we end up together, I want us to have a kid. And I can take it out. I can afford one. I'm good. And it's just not going well. The conversation's getting heated. They are end up saying things they're going to regret to one another. Saved by the train horn. They're both yelling, especially her. Especially, you know, when it comes to Jock and Kendra, he don't yell. She yells. And he just sits there. So, of course, she's defending her case in the confessional. Y'all can't tell me I did not know who I married. Y'all can't tell me I was not aware of the situation. Y'all can't tell me I don't know his track record. I know everything about Jock that I knew from the beginning to the end. But I'm damn sure and not going to be stuck with something I wasn't ready for. I'm going to make sure I have my options. I'm going to have my insurance policy set up when I want to leave. Because I want to make sure I have my plans ready to have my legacy set up for me. So she's fussing at Jock, telling him he's listen to your wife. If she tells you she wants to have a baby, but right now at this time she don't want to, you need to listen and respect that. But he don't want to do that. Okay, if you don't want to do that, then let me go. Let me be free and let me find somebody who wants to respect me, loves me, support me. And when I'm trying to explain how I'm feeling, he's going to give me that love and support by telling me I don't want to have a kid right now, but I can see how you're feeling. So if my husband is not going to do what he wants to do, if he's not going to show me the way I'm supposed to be shown the love that I need to be loved, then by all means, leave me. If he's not going to be there for me to still grow, for me to still mature, for me to still do things that I want to do, then leave me. Let me be free so I can find somebody who will do that for me. Then she tells Jock to grow the fuck up. Oof. Like Kendra was just going off without a breath. It's like I can understand Jock's feelings of wanting to have children, but he doesn't want to wait. I can understand Kendra's feelings of her wanting to use proper protocols, make proper decisions about not just rushing to have kids with him. But it's like on her end, you knew what you were dealing with when you got with Jock. You knew every single thing about him. Every single thing, and you still decided to say yes. You still decided to be with him. You even were okay with not having children. But down the line, you want to have children, but you're not trusting enough if you want to have kids with him, even if you love him. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Woo! This was a lot. Oh my God, next episode looks like it's going to be a mess. You got Jasmine pleading her case to everybody to see her side of things. And it's like, Jasmine, at the end of the day, I hear you. John, what's his name? Kirk do need to get his ass handed to him more. Because not just you. But don't expect for these women to be on your side. They can sympathize, but don't expect them to be your friends. Because they're not your friends. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video. And I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.